All right, hello, hello. We are back. House and Fata Morgana. This is going to be our last stream before we start going on hiatus. I love how I say we like there's someone else here today, but there isn't. I promise you're not missing anyone. I'm Kels. I'm gonna be reading through all of this, and yeah. As a reminder, this is one of our last streams of the year. I don't know if we're going to end up streaming on New Year's Eve, but we may end up doing a New Year's Eve stream. Generally at the beginning of the year we always kind of take a look at what are the different things that we're doing, see if we want to add anything, look at the different games that we can play, etc. So if there's ever anything that you wish that we would play, or you want to see us do more of, or even anything like outside of games, if you want to see us do anything like that, please let me know in the chat. We will bring it up as we start talking about next year. Yeah, Maverick just barks in the distance. Look, that dog is a chaos demon like me, and he is always in my heart and soul. Um, Perfect. So, back in House in Fata Morgana, things got fucked up last time. I'm so excited to see where we go with this, so let's do our recap. Alright. So, Mel is in denial about his crush on Abigail, the maid, quote unquote Abigail, who we started calling Abby last time, for those of you who weren't on the last stream. Nellie bossed around the maids to redecorate her room and grilled Abby about her feelings for Mel, then refused to tell Mel where Abby is. Despite Nellie's efforts, nothing could stop Mel's puberty from repeatedly embarrassing and endearing himself to Abby. Yeah, dude was not really good at the whole flirting thing, but she was into it, and you know what? I guess there is someone for everyone. We'll just leave it there. He spooked her in the library and talked about having lived in the house his whole life with books older than it. Abby told a story about a girl trapped in a mansion having a pen pal. Mel dreamed about holding the girl in the story dead in his arms, and her father remorseful about starving her and blaming a witch instead. Meanwhile, the maid has blood on her hands and is willing to cover for something that Abby did. Abby is frequently mistaken for a witch, and she stained the white rose red. Nellie feels Mel has grown distant from her. He asked the maid for help with something that she won't let us know yet while he went for a walk with Abby to chat about the weather. Abby rejected the rose gift Mel tried to give her, and the priest told him that he's seen Abby before amongst the beggars. The dad told Nellie that she has to get married. Abby wanted to kill the dad and barely choked Mel, but he only cares why she was trembling. He offered to be her prince and confessed his love to her, despite their social rank. She explained her father's grudge against the Rhodes family for ruining his art business. Mel took Nellie to an event to experience noble life, but Nellie went yandere and probably scalped Abby to kill Mel, and she told him about the secret behind her painting, revealing the fuckery that happened between Abby's parents and the Rhodes that made Abby his half-sister, so yeah, it's totally okay for Nellie to bang him. Yeah, we're at this weird, all roads lead to incest at the moment, and yeah, so, let's get started. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Dearest Mel, everyone just loves to dote on me. They're always telling me how pretty I am. Mother does, father does, and all the maids do too. Yeah, all roads lead to incest, and both ended attempted murders, so yeah. I can do anything that I want. So for me, acting like a spoiled child is the only form of rebellion I have. I don't have the kind of freedom you do, Mel. I'm just a doll for the family to play with. When I have visitors, it's only ever for show. So it's not my fault that I don't have friends. Dearest Mel, you're the only one who's ever cared about me more than anything in the world. Dearest Mel, I always knew how I would react if you fell in love. I would cry my eyes out. I would envy her to death. I would get as angry as a bull. But eventually, I would have given up. I knew I could never have it my way after all, that my feelings would never bear fruit. So why did she have to be your sister? Tell me, why? I know that we laugh about um Nellie being spoiled and all of that, but quite honestly, I feel so bad for her. Like, poor girl is in an arranged marriage that she doesn't want to be in. Um she's basically accepted that her feelings for her brother are not good because she's his sister, but now he's also fallen in love with his sister, so, Yeah, till I found out that she was also your sister, and then I decided it wasn't fair.
Oh, dearest Mel, here you are again reading such hard books. Your eyes will go bad if you spend too long staring at pages.
I'll be fine, Nellie. It's not like I'm reading 24 hours a day.
No, that's not good enough. If your eyes go bad, dearest Mel, you won't be able to see me anymore.
You worry too much. I can see you fine and well, my princess. Your hair glimmering like the sun, and your beautiful smile. I can see you clear as day, and that'll never change. Plus, the skies are clear today, so you're even more radiant than usual.
You know, this is my favorite season. Winter's cold and there's so much rain. I can't stand it. But as it gets closer to my birthday, the clouds go away. And I just adore the sun.
Yeah, it's almost your birthday, isn't it? Have you decided what you're going to ask Father for?
Not yet. I want pretty dolls and shoes with sparkling gems. And I also want a pretty dress like the ones Mother wears.
A list that long is asking a bit much, even for Father.
But dearest Mel,
Hmm?
I already have what I want the most. So the truth is, as long as I have that, I don't need anything else.
Oh, and what would that be? The hairpin they bought for you the other day? Or maybe the song they had written for you last year?
None of that, dearest Mel.
Huh? Then what could it be? Now I'm really curious. What is it that's so valuable to you? Yeah,
I want my own new line of Barbie dolls, Incest Barbie.
I don't know. I haven't seen the new Barbie movie yet. But maybe maybe she could be in there. I don't know.
That's a secret.
Girls have so many secrets. I just don't know what to do.
Say, dearest Mel, would you run your fingers through my hair? Just for a little bit.
What's gotten into you, Nellie? Why are you so hungry for attention all of a sudden?
Please, dearest Mel.
Oh, Nellie, what am I going to do with you? Come over here.
And I want to sit on your lap.
Yes, yes, as you wish, my beautiful, beautiful little princess.
Say, dearest Mel,
What is it this time, Nellie?
right now I'm so incredibly happy. Oh, and out of curiosity, who was it that you really cared so much about?
You know what? It sounds to me like, Cellulite Barbie and Irrepressible Thoughts of Death Barbie are both good, but Incest Barbie should be proposed for the sequel. So, in a fevered frenzy, Mel fled from the mansion. Even in early summer, the night was cold. And to make matters worse, raindrops pelted him from head to toe. But that caused him little discomfort, for a far greater maelstrom of pain rampaged within his breast. At night, the town took on a different appearance. Not simply for lack of illumination, but the people active within it as well. It was not a suitable place for a young aristocratic man to go wandering unattended. The darkness is not only the abode of devils, but of beggars, thieves, criminals, and all manner of things undesirable, including the vampire I'm romancing in our PG-3 playthrough. Um, but despite that, he continued to run, knowing not where he was to head. Chat and I are on the same lines. At night, the vampires are out. He simply went where his feet took him, and where he arrived was the church. Father! Father! God should be able to offer me counsel. I don't know. God doesn't seem to chat too much to me, but maybe he just doesn't like me. It's a possibility. To answer all my questions about that painting, about her, and about Nellie's feelings. Not her lies, but the truth. Please, open the door. Open the door. But as you might expect, the door was locked, and the priest showed no sign of responding to his calls. The sound of the pouring rain drowned out everything else. His head drooped feebly. He looked like a helpless little calf who had wandered, alone, onto a dark, precarious mountain path with no end in sight. Why? Why won't anyone tell me the truth? All I want, all I want is for someone to tell me it's not true. Have I sinned? No, I didn't know anything. I didn't know. No, no, none of it's true. So I haven't done anything wrong. I am not at fault. Am I? Nevertheless, his sister's claims and her laughs continued to echo within his head. If he truly believed it to be false, he would have gone to look at the painting. That he could not was an indication that uncertainty had a stronger grip on him. Fragmented images of a white-haired painter fluttered through the back of his mind, but he desperately shoved them aside. What good is church? What good is theology? What good is God? I... Something moved near the boy. It stood immediately behind him and grasped his light dressing gown. He had been so consumed in his own world that he had not noticed the person's presence until they were close enough to touch him. Yeah, Mel just wants a girlfriend that isn't related to him. Is that so bad? It's apparently he doesn't know any other girls, so maybe that's a problem. What? Who are you? Standing there was a beggar dressed in tattered rags. He's still begging at the church? The hooded beggar tentatively extended his hand toward Mel, pleading for relief with sad, slender fingers. Were he a generous young man, Mel would have given the beggar something. Were he generous, of course. Lord, get your filthy hands off me. I don't have a damn thing to give you right now. Don't you dare touch me. Suddenly, oh, are we going into the Beauty and the Beast vibes? There we go. Maybe he should consider taking his chances with that Arthur dude. Look, if he was good enough for his sister, then he should be good enough for Mel. Sorry, just saying it out loud. Suddenly, the beggar's head turned upward. My eyes catch the beggar's. Her hood fell back, revealing a hairless head. Why? And a pair of red eyes gazing bitterly, though with a familiar, distinctive glimmer, at Mel. Red eyes. She immediately covered her face and turned to run. It can't be. The beggar that's always been here was a... But you said yourself that they would not survive much longer. How could you be certain that she was the same beggar? Wait for me! Perhaps, as someone of such high social standing, all beggars appeared the same to you. Or perhaps you wanted to believe your meager generosity made a difference, that you did something of value. I will not say it's wrong to think so. Wait for me! I chase after the fleeing girl. Though I shout for her to stop, she continues to run. The rain is so heavy, I'm afraid I might lose her. I'm terrified. But I didn't do anything wrong. Did I? I'm begging you, please stop. I just want to talk. She comes to a stop at a corner. Please do not go around this corner. It's you, isn't it? I am sorry. Why are you apologizing? What I said back there was terrible, and for that I'm truly sorry. I didn't realize it was you. Please, come back to me. If you're concerned about social status, I'll figure something out. And Nellie's getting married off soon enough. Oh, fuck you, Mel. Oh, yes, Nellie. Nellie did some horrible things to you. She's lost her mind. She was talking nonsense. But don't worry, she'll be out of the picture soon enough. I'll make sure you're safe. Say something. Please. Are you angry? You're angry, aren't you?
I am not angry at you. I am not.
Did you know everything? Did you come to our house aware of everything? Yeah, I mean, he has no obligation to reciprocate Nellie's feelings. But, like, his whole thing about, like, the new girl coming into the picture, he's now totally okay with his sister being married off and pretty much just shoving her out of the picture. Like, this love has not changed him for good, is what I would say. Yeah, at the very least, not offering the very specific things she wanted from you to another girl, like being the prince and taking her to that play. And yeah, Mel has been kind of a total asshole for about the last hour.
What?
Did you? Tell me, please. The priest isn't around, and everything Nellie says is a lie. I don't think she's lying, man. You're the only one who will tell me it's not true.
What are you?
Our relationship.
I don't understand what you're saying. Ah, I see.
You don't know. You don't know. It's for the best. Nellie's the only one who knows. And she'll be gone before long. Everything will be all right.
Lord Mel.
It'll all be all right. Let's go back. I'll make sure you're never put in danger again. I'm begging you, stay with me.
My appearance is no longer suitable to stand at your side. You saw how unsightly I am back by the church, did you not?
Hair can grow back. That's not a problem.
Now I truly look the part of the hideous witch. But I am to blame. It was a sin for me to find happiness in your kindness.
What are you talking about?
My sin was falling in love with you. Not what happened to my father, nor how we had to spend our days.
There's no sin in that. We have our whole lives ahead of us, don't we? With enough time, this whole tragic mess will be behind us. Things will only get better from here. I'll be your prince, like the one who took the girl to see the outside world. So please, give me your hand. Come to me. Don't leave me all alone. I need you by my side. Please. I extend my hand around the corner. I sense her hesitating beyond the bend. I'm begging you. I can't see what's on the other side, but a vision of her reaching out to put her hand in mine wells up in my mind. But
that story never had an ending.
What? She doesn't take my hand.
I doubt the girl ever wrote that letter.
She's not there when I turn the corner. Why? How did things end up like this? Where did I go wrong, oh God?
Your error was likely your kindness, thoughtlessly, haphazardly spreading your generosity. But that generosity came from your own desire to avoid pain, for your own happiness.
What should I have done? I can't take this. Everyone was happy. Nellie used to laugh and smile. She once meant the world to me. How did things turn out like this? It's not my fault. I didn't do anything wrong.
If you pretend like nothing happened, then perhaps they can go on smiling in your head. But regardless, you must follow the path you tread. It is your path alone. The path you chose when, in that moment, you decided to run. Make the wrong choice in those moments, and you shall find yourself on the road to ruin.
would have been better off not knowing. Better off in the dark. I just wanted those tranquil days to last. They were supposed to last forever.
At some point, your childhood must come to an end, and that ending may not be the one you anticipated.
I can't stand this world.
You yearned for a world that would treat you with kindness.
What should I do? What should I have done? Someone, please, help me.
You should return now. If you spend too long out here, you're liable to catch a cold.
Now, let us return to our own time. He said tranquil days, and my brain just filled it with, I just wanted those tranquilizers to kick in. I mean, he wouldn't be opposed to it at this moment, I think. I would say Hot Maid did not necessarily make this better, we'll just put it that way. She kind of said, told you so, and left, so. The crestfallen young man faded into the distance, and the decrepit double doors clacked shut. Through the shattered glass, you could only see the ruins of a garden, not a single rose growing within. You had evidently returned from the past. In the garden, weeds grew taller than people. You found it difficult to look at. A wolf howled in the distance. The children, the sea of roses, and the white-haired girl were nowhere to be found. You and the maid, who called you master, were the only people present in the mansion.
What happened to the next? Oh, master, you would know better than I.
My, you cannot remember.
It seems this is quite serious, then.
Worry not, my loyalty lies with you, master.
The mansion has witnessed more yet. Let us make our way to the second door.
Your hand in hers, the maid guided you back through the kitchen and into the tea room. Her palms were still cold. You felt as though you were clenching ice.
Master, do you wish to know the truth, no matter what may be hidden within? Or, if it's something you would be happier not knowing, would you rather remain in the dark?
Oh, is that so?
I wonder about their father.
Yes, the flaxen-haired sibling's father. Do you think he knew about the white-haired girl? If he did,
Then perhaps he allowed her to stay because of how deeply he loved his wife.
or maybe because he didn't want people to find out about her. I expect he too experienced many different emotions. I mean, I would point out, he had to at least know she was pregnant, I would assume, because that takes 9 months and does have some pretty major things. So unless he didn't see her for like a year, I don't know.
I expect he too experienced many different emotions. But those pages of his story remain untold. Their parents likely had a turbulent tale as well, but theirs is not one of consequence.
To whom?
I couldn't tell you.
You and the maid crossed through the entrance hall, continuing your trek. At some point, the fire in the fireplace had faded to embers, emphasizing the lack of light within the mansion. The maid took a candlestick and lit it in the cinders. The small flame illuminated her pale face. On a whim, you asked the maid about herself.
About me? I am a maid devoted to your service, master, as I have said.
Oh, what was that? You are interested in my name. You flatter me.
I truly do appreciate the question, but you're more than welcome to simply call me the maid. Also, it would make me much happier to hear you say my name after you've recalled who you are, master.
A subtle smile rose to the maid's face, after which she began to lead you down a first-floor corridor. Still holding the maid's hand, you passed in front of a full-length mirror. In it reflected the warm light of the candle, which disappeared out of range shortly thereafter.
Oh my,
Is something the matter? Did you come across something peculiar? The maid had not appeared in the mirror. Oh, creepy. I like it. Though she was not the only one without a reflection. Oh. What are we? You reached the end of the corridor. There appeared to be a doorway, but the door itself was long since gone, leaving only a hole in the wall to frame the stairs behind it. Without hesitation, the maid descended into the darkness.
you have more interest in this mansion, master, than in a mere maid, do you not? Though it pains me to say as much in your presence, master, this house is cursed. Yes, it's a curse that runs deep. Just as you bore witness to, the majority of those who dwell within these walls fall into misfortune. I have served here for many years, and periods of happiness are as fleeting as a sugar cube and a cup of hot tea. Why did such tragedies befall them? If I were to guess, master, it was because you had not returned. But when you remember your true self, the mansion's curse should be broken. The next door is before us. It appeared to be the entrance to a cellar. The disconsolate wooden door was visibly rotten in several places, and it seemed it might crumble at a single touch. You could hear the sound of something devouring meat beyond the door. Oh, that's going to be pleasant, I'm super sure. Maybe there was a beast living within. Before you had a chance to say you thought it was dangerous, the maid opened the door with a chilling smile on her face. Your first impression was that it smelled of blood.
Yeah, it's eating meat and not sharing. Rude. All right, we've hit the second door. 1707. So roughly 100 years later, just over 100 years later.
The mansion sat in ruins in that era. Not a soul resided within. The grandeur of the house was lost to the ages. It was in perpetual decline. Not a flower grew in the garden. Dust and dirt blackened the plaster. Cobwebs blanketed the corridors. Ivy shrouded the outer walls. It was not a pleasant sight. As hard as I tried to fight it, I could not stop the mansion's descent into disrepair. The depth of the previous owner's grief, or perhaps despair, was far too much. After the beautiful flaxen-haired family, people stayed away from the mansion. They had no heirs, so their bloodline simply vanished into the depths of history.
I mean, considering both options of who Mel could have procreated with, probably a good thing that there were no heirs. So
It had been about 50 years since the house last had a resident. The forlorn property appeared as though it had been abandoned for centuries, and the occasional villager who stumbled upon it did not remain there for more than a day. My time there was rather solitary. That was perhaps the loneliest time of my life. Everyone who visited the mansion feared it, and it was left without anyone to become its master. I even came to believe that my time serving as a maid would come to an end in this era. However, one day I noticed something out of the ordinary. As a servant of the house, I am almost immediately aware of any new presence within its walls, and there appeared to be someone downstairs. Can you imagine just how delighted I was? Though part of me was anxious about what kind of person I might find, the possibility that it could be you had my heart aflutter. So, resisting the urge to rush, I headed for the basement. The cellar was where red wine, smoked meat, and other preserved foods were kept. By that point, the wine was practically antique. As I had expected, a man had made his way into the cellar. Is anyone there? Although I am unsure if referring to him as a man is entirely accurate.
So this thing's gonna be pleasant, I'm sure.
Oh my, this is quite something.
Oh, hello, sir. Monster fuckers, here's your chance.
The very first thing I sensed was an almost unbearable stench. The odor emanated from the man, heightened by the food he'd carelessly rummaged through. Blood-red liquid spilled from the wine barrels, soaking the floor. His sunken eyes had a piercing, wolf-like glimmer in them. His teeth were sharp and yellowed, visible as he ripped into a chunk of meat. He grumbled in a seemingly inhuman tongue. Why am I suddenly concerned he's a cannibal?
Like, I guess he's like not necessarily human, so I don't know if cannibal still applies, but I'm suddenly worried that that meat is human, or was human at some point.
I was looking at a beast, or perhaps a half-beast. There was another source of odor in the room, though. It had something of a kind of metallic tinge to it, and when I noticed this, I nearly passed out. The red liquid was not just wine, as I had assumed. The beast had, I presume, stolen a weapon from the village. A sword, far too nice for him, lay on the floor by his side. I could hardly imagine how many people's lives he had taken with that blade. It was visibly wet with blood, even in the darkness of the cellar, but at the same time it had an imposing gleam. The fine, luscious aroma of the wine could not mask the stench of blood and the beast. Holding my breath, I took a few moments to ponder. Ponder what? Oh, master, you know. Tell me, were you summoned here by the mansion? Did you come here knowing what kind of place it is? If you are in want of money, you are welcome to help yourself to some of the furniture. And I imagine the villagers would be willing to welcome you if you dressed yourself up a bit more like a person. Then you can trade the furniture for food and make your way to a larger town. The wolf was able to fool the innocent little girl simply by putting on clothing, after all.
There we go. This is the true heir to the Rhodes family. Instead of inbreeding, Mel resorted to zoophilia to preserve the bloodline.
Oh dear, I was afraid he wouldn't understand me. What am I to do? I was in quite the predicament. Nevertheless, it meant a great deal to me that I had found someone who did not fear the mansion, be they human or beast. So I decided I should give him my assistance while doing my best not to agitate him. Say, could you perchance be my new master? The mansion sat near the ocean. To say it was perched upon a cliff might make it sound rather intimidating, but you could see the beautifully clear sea through the windows, a glittering expanse of emerald and turquoise. If the mansion had been in proper condition, it would have been breathtaking against that backdrop.
This is reminding me again of Umineko. Which, like, let me just say, I adore Umineko. It's one of my favorite games ever, so I'm not mad at that comparison.
I even wanted to plant orange trees in the garden. Though it was a tumultuous era, the sun still shone bright upon the land, which only served to emphasize the house's unsightliness. Oh yes, perhaps I should give you some more background information. At that period in time, a war had just drawn to a close. The once gorgeous wetlands were infested with crows picking at decaying remains. Bodies of soldiers fallen in battle continually washed up on the shores of coastal villages. The people wanted nothing more than for the curtain to draw on that deeply political contest. And when it finally did, the kingdom, with its richly fertile shores, was stripped of its independence, beginning a new era under new rule. The people were exhausted, their spirits wasted away, and the splendor of the ocean and sky did nothing to help. In my mind, the beast was emblematic of the times, emaciated and enveloped in the scent of blood. But the war came to an end. Thus, the beast did not have to remain a beast, I thought. Did he? And so I endeavored to make the beast more human-like. First, I needed to do something about his appearance. I would draw a bath, scrub away all the filth, and dress him in clothing left in the mansion. However, having sat unused for 50 years, the majority of garments had been devoured by insects and were of little use. So I searched the mansion top to bottom for anything the beast could wear, heated up some coals, and set to work ironing what I found. At the time, steam irons had not yet been invented. We used plates of iron heated with coals. They somewhat resembled kettles. Little fun facts there. I even prepared meals for the beast, in order to teach him proper table manners. Although, with the mansion in a nearly uninhabitable state of disarray, there was only so much I could do in the kitchen. And the only supplies I had to work with were what was left in the cellar. As such, I was not able to put the cooking skills I'd learned in the flaxen-haired family's time. Now.
I know, that's, like, that was what I was thinking. As the dining room proudly presents your dinner. Be our guest. He looks a little different from Belle, but you know what? Maybe he cleans up nice. We don't know yet.
Now, you mustn't eat with your hands.
Do you want to get your fingers and face dirty? This is literally the scene from Beauty and the Beast where they're teaching the Beast how to, like, have table manners and stuff like that.
You eat using a knife and fork. See, like this. I feel like I'm teaching a young child. Oh my, what are you holding your head for? Oh dear. Perhaps I should be teaching you to speak before table manners. Worry not, we have plenty of time. You needn't act so frightened. Or perhaps you do not want to be understood at all. Would you be so kind as to tell me your name? You are, for now, still a guest. It is too soon for me to call you master. Or am I mistaken? Your name. That is what people call you. How about I start by telling you my name? I am called
Okay. B-E. Bestia.
Bestia. Your name is Bestia? I see. Then that is what I shall call you, Bestia.
My, you seem to be rather perplexed as to how I was still alive. He had, in fact, attempted to cause me harm. However,
I am a servant of the house.
the beast called himself Bestia. It is a curious thing. When I learned his name, he seemed to take on new importance in my mind. He was not a mere beast, but the thing called Bestia. Master. Should I ever have the chance to hear your name, I am certain you too shall become more substantial a presence. But you always must remember, Master, that even if you do not remember your name, and even if you never know mine, you have always held a special place in my heart. There we go. This is what Mel turned into after he pushed the beggar. Like, exactly. This entire thing is just a allegory of Beauty and the Beast.
And thus began my tranquil days with Bestia.
There we go. Bestia girl. Cursed to kill and or die. Yeah, I will say, we do have that curse now. Like, the best girls do either seem to die or be murderers, and I don't know what that says about us.
Slowly, he began to learn the human tongue. And I was, to be quite honest, rather thrilled. To be certain, I was afraid of the beast. But my fear was not so strong as my elation that there was someone else in the mansion, someone to whom I could speak, and someone that might become my master. Come now, you must pull weeds out at the roots, or they will soon grow back. This is a task that requires perseverance. You do it like this, see? There you go.
Grass.
Oh, did you not expect that? What appears to be many plants on the surface is actually all connected within the soil. This is a task that requires a man's strength. If there were other servants, they could do it. So I apologize for making you tend to the garden, future master. Or perhaps, now that you're all dressed up, do you wish to leave the mansion and find someone to fool, as the wolf did the sweet little girl? Have you no interest in remaining in such a disheveled house? Go on.
Not want leave.
Oh my, is that so? If you wish to stay, then I shall not stop you. On the contrary, I will gladly attend to you. I am waiting for the person who is to become my master. Forever waiting.
Interesting. Okay, so the original Beauty and the Beast fairy tale originates from 1740, so 37 years after this part of the story. But I think, like, maybe this is what inspired it.
I should be able to watch over you until the day you depart this world, old and wrinkled. Do you not believe me? Are you interested in becoming the master of this house?
33 years, not 37. I wasn't going to do that math, so you're good.
Will be. I have to wonder if you know what you were saying, although it matters little whether you do or not. Oh my, look at that. Now this brings back memories. This is called a rose.
Do you know what a rose is?
It's a type of flower.
Not, no. Do not know.
I see. Then allow me to teach you. What you have here is not a real rose. The real rose is wilted and are sleeping in the soil. This is called an accessory. It is something women wear. The beast held an ornamental white rose in his hands, an object someone, sometime, meant to give to someone else. Curiously, the white rose was just as stunning as it had been the day it was made, despite being buried in the earth for so many years. I hear roses make wonderful gifts. He stared intently at the decorative rose. I had presumed the beast would either discard it disinterestedly or destroy it.
Yeah, it's Mel's rose for Abby. I did wonder what happened to it because after she rejected it, like, what did he do with it? Apparently, now it ended up in the soil somehow, so.
But much to my surprise, Bestia held it gently in his hands, as though it were something precious to him.
I mean, maybe we are right about it being Mel.
Are you, perchance, considering giving it to me? So you are not. Very well. Is there someone else you would like to give it to? In that moment, a thought floated through my mind. The thing I had found in a pool of blood in the cellar was a monstrous creature indeed, but perhaps that was not, at his core, what he truly was. So I asked him a question. What is it that you desire, Bestia? This mansion fulfills people's desires. If you yearn for something, want, live, peace.
Oh,
Look at
that filthy thing.
a beast. It's a beast.
It's eating goddamn sand. You really that hungry?
Beast, you foul creature.
Stay the hell back. Get any closer, filthy beast, and I'll kill you.
Leave him alone.
Yeah.
For example, the grandfather of the previous family wanted to go out with a bang. Several days passed by. As Bestia began to act more like a person, the mansion followed suit, slowly becoming more habitable, though not yet back to its former glory. No flowers grew in the garden, but neither were there weeds infesting it. The dusty corridors, shattered windows, rust-covered kitchen gradually returned to their proper states. Bestia learned how to change his own clothes and how to draw a bath. No longer did I have to wait on him hand and foot. He could take care of a number of things all by himself. What we lacked for food, he acquired from the forest. Never did he go to purchase supplies from the village. Rather, he captured hares and gathered herbs hidden in the overgrowth. I almost feel bad for guessing that he was a cannibal or eating human beings. They were days without incident. And though such a life may be wont for excitement, peace is something that you mustn't take for granted. Those who have it cast it aside, finding the leisurely flow of time dull. Only those who have never experienced it truly know how precious it is. Bestia appeared to be content. He wore an expression of solitary serenity. Is anyone there? And then one day, a crack formed in the uneventful tranquility. Is anyone in there? Could you part with some food? I don't need much. Some food and water. Just a little. That's all I need. Bestia looked over at me as if seeking my aid. Ironic, no? It was the visitor who was truly in need of aid. I pondered it for a few moments, deciding that I could not simply turn away someone calling upon the mansion.
Yeah.
He'll use antlers in all of his decorating. My, what a guy, Bestia.
Had Bestia ordered me not to let him in, I would have followed his instructions, but he said nothing. Oh, this guy looks like he's gonna be an asshole already. Oh, thank God, someone's here. I was afraid it was deserted. Bestia rejects the merchant and he curses him into a human.
You said you were in need of sustenance.
Yes. It doesn't have to be much. Anything to quench this thirst. I got lost, and it's been several days.
Give me a few minutes. I will find...
Okay, apparently Bestia now speaks full English.
Let him in. A deep, firm voice came from behind me. I was quite startled. When had the beast learned to act so much like a human? When had he learned to speak so clearly and to behave so much like a master? Ah. Upon seeing Bestia, a look of terror appeared to cross the wanderer's face for a moment.
Yeah, I can see it. The guy looks like Cosmo Asogi, but snootier. I'm trying to figure out who he reminds me of, and I'm hoping that maybe we'll get another flash and maybe it'll hit me. Like, he looks like a character that is a total asshole, which is who I think I'm associating it with, but I can't remember what character it is. To my eyes, the bestia was the very image of the head of a house, but to an outsider, he probably appeared to be nothing more than a beast in man's clothing. Prepare him a meal and a bed. I suspect he is quite tired. Thank you very much. But in time, the fear drained from the man's face. Bestia sat precariously on the border between man and beast. Though he still had his doubts, the wanderer revised his first impression, deciding Bestia was human. As the wolf had fooled the little girl in the forest, he too had succeeded in playing the role of a man. I thought I was a goner for a while there, but you really came to the rescue. And a meal like this on top of that? You really didn't have to. Though I guess that's not an appropriate thing to say as I'm eating. What kind of meat is this? Hare. It's damn tender for rabbit. And here I thought it was beef. You have quite the skilled chef. Oh, is she the one who cooked this? Is she your wife? Oh no, I'm merely a servant. A female servant, huh? Don't see that very often. This mansion's just full of surprises. I can hardly believe it. Lost for days, and as soon as I think I'm dead, there it is. Thinking back on it now, it's miraculous. But why are you two living alone in a house on a cliff? Oh, I beg your pardon. Asking so many questions without telling you about myself. My apologies, just a little too excited to finally see other people. I'm a merchant. I do international trade. Until a few years back, spice exports pretty much all came from one place. But now that we've established trade routes of our own, my country's fighting tooth and nail to push its exports. And in fact, some have lost a few teeth in the fight already. But that's just how it works. It's a cutthroat world. You do what you must to survive. That's just how it works, the merchant said, a sorrowful look on his face. He was quite clearly putting on a show, though. Confidence in himself and his homeland radiated from that man. I came to this land to do business, but much to my chagrin, I somehow ended up lost in the forest. There we go. The value of sacred hospitality dates back to ancient Greece. Bestia has earned Zeus's favor. Had I wandered around for much longer, I'd have lost the chance to ever see my beloved again. Your beloved? Yes, sir. I'm constantly out on business, so we only get to see each other a few times a year. But she always waits for my return. I'd like to introduce you to her if I ever get the chance. She's a pretty girl, if not especially striking. How dare you say that, sir? Is that so? That's how it be on this bitch of an earth. The merchant was a man of many words, and I, for one, do not mind a lively supper table. Though I know not how Bestia felt, at the very least I was glad we had invited the wanderer into the mansion. He was, after all, holding a proper conversation with someone, and he seemed to be having success concealing his piercing, beast-like gaze. However... Oh, right, I stopped by the village before entering the forest, and I heard a bone-chilling tale there. Look, the merchant said that his significant other isn't striking, and in my opinion, that is all the reason we need to make her our own. If she's open to it, obviously. If everyone consents, except for this man. As soon as the merchant brought up the subject, a palpable tension spread through the room. Yeah, my totally real girlfriend who lives in Canada. What's it, Canada? They say there have been sightings of a beast. It's a creature unlike anything anyone's ever seen before. Not a wolf or a bear or anything like that. It even attacked the village once, killing several people. Thankfully, the men managed to drive it out. But the creature's still alive. There's nothing in this world scarier than a vicious beast. I don't know that we're ever going to get to the point of meeting his girlfriend because I think he's about to not have a girlfriend. So you should keep an eye out. Wouldn't want to accidentally let a murderous beast into your home. At the villager's insistence, I had the smithy forge me a knife. Is that knife? Huh? With you now? Well, yeah, I've got it on me. Only good to defend myself with, but it's better than... That knife. You brought that knife. Oh, no. You're here to kill me with that knife. What? You're going to stab me again and again with that knife. like they did last time. That's why you're here, isn't it? What? What are you talking about? What's gotten into you? Stab and stab and stab. Calm down. What are you so worried about? I'm not going to hurt you with this. What did you just say? Ah! I like to imagine that before the wolf ate the poor little girl, he said, "Is this what I always looked like?" That beast. What's your problem? What's wrong? Talk like a human. It's me. Stop! Stay back! Get any closer and I'll stab you to death. That is exactly what he's afraid you're going to do, dude. Like, don't be stupid here. You act like you only just realized I'm a beast. That's right. I'm a beast. I killed them. Stay back. And I'll do the same to you. I feel so melodramatic trying to say some of this stuff. Help! In his hand, Bestia held his sword. Perhaps it had been hidden under the table, or maybe behind his chair. Let me just say the music right now is very distracting because it's cool. Of course, I say that now that it's stopped, but regardless, it was as though he had expected this to happen. The merchant kicked aside a chair, attempting to flee, but Bestia closed the distance in an instant, knocking him back. He lost his balance and slammed against the wall, but still he made to escape, though the beast stood blocking his path. No, please stop this. Don't kill me. My beloved is waiting for me back home. I can't leave her behind. And why should I care? I'll let him scream. A dreadful scream echoed through the dining hall. I reflexively covered my ears. Please help! Someone! Anyone! No one's going to come for you. This mansion's a long way from town. That woman, where did she... Why isn't she here? She was just... You'll kill me if I don't kill you. And so I must show you that I will. I must show you that I'm serious. I must kill you or you won't understand. You just won't understand. If I don't show you firsthand, you won't understand. I'll make you understand. I'll make your flesh and bones understand. I'll kill you. I'll kill you. Another scream. I don't know that I can do it again in my throat. Sorry, man. Kill you. Monster. That's right. I am a beast. Damn. I think he was serious, guys. Oh shit. There's lots of laughter suddenly just flashing in. Yeah, 2 days later, we hear a mob of villagers singing "Kill the Beast" to punctuate each slam of the door from their battering ram. They had been enjoying a peaceful meal around the table together just minutes earlier. So, what had triggered this? If I were to guess, the merchant saying the word knife is what caused the beast to snap. A simple, small thing set him off. I could not comprehend it. Bestia, who had said he wished for peace, was staring down at the ravaged corpse of the merchant, with a look of ecstasy on his face. Master, can you understand how he felt? Even just a little? Did he not yearn for peace, but for slaughter? Oh, look at all the pretty flowers. All right, that does it for today's shopping. And now the moment we've all been waiting for. Snack time! I like her already. There's nothing better than having a ham sandwich in the park. Oh dear. Maybe I should lower my voice when I'm talking to myself. We really do have a Beauty and the Beast thing going on. But it's so nice out, I just can't help myself.
Does the weather have anything to do with talking to oneself? Not important. Food, food. If he were here, it would taste even better. I wonder when I'll get to see him next.
Oh my god, is this actually the merchant's sweetheart?
Pauline! Pauline! There you are! Oh dear! What's got you so frazzled, Mom? Oh, Pauline. Huh? What is it? Did something happen? What's the matter, Mom? Mom? Pauline. This isn't like you, Mom. It's not like you at all. Tell me, what happened? I told you to stay away from men who trade. Huh? Oh, Pauline, my dear daughter. Why must God be so cruel to such a sweet girl? You're hurting me, Mom. Don't squeeze so tight. What's gotten into you? Listen carefully, Pauline. You must be calm and hear me out. Understood?
She's very cute. I love her already.
Your lover, the beloved man you wait for, is dead. The beast's humanity began slipping away from him after that encounter. He had returned to the thing I had found in the cellar. Actually, he prowled the mansion's halls looking more barbaric than ever. Despite all the effort he had put into learning to act like a human, he now ripped the velvet curtains off the wall, howling shrilly, stomping back and forth through the hallways and ravaging the garden. I watched him intently, though from a distance. Bestia was not merely a beast, but an out-of-control, bloodthirsty beast. Just a few days ago, we'd been tending the garden together, but that was no longer possible. I was quite disappointed. Eventually, Bestia discovered my hiding place. I had not felt regret in a very long time, but I felt deep regret in that moment.
More. Don't have enough, not enough. I need more, I need more. I must satisfy these urges. See, another one with urges to kill. And I'm guessing that all of his friends went, yeah, you know, like that urge to kill you feel when someone cuts you in line. Like, that's normal. Until you start killing people, and then all of a sudden they want to judge you.
Are you saying the peace was not enough to sate you? Did I mishear you when you asked for peace?
I was mistaken. Asking for peace won't solve anything. Blood, despair, eyes filled with terror. These are the things I need. And I've always known it. You said this mansion fulfills people's desires. Then... give me prey. No more hares. Live humans.
Why did I ever teach him to speak human language? Before long, the mansion granted his wish. Once a week, a villager or a traveling merchant from somewhere would wander into the forest, ending up at the mansion on the cliff. Though something felt suspicious about the man who greeted them at the door, on the surface he looked like a proper nobleman. So they all eventually chose to trust Bestia. The mansion had an air of loneliness about it, but it was adequate to provide rest for their weary feet. There was food and a bed, and most comforting of all, there were other people. The lord of the house treated the lost souls like esteemed guests. He poured them fine wine and had me cook for them. No one suspected in the slightest that he was a beast. He put on a reasonably convincing act. Because, yes, I had taught him how to behave like a master. The visitors all went to bed contented. But, as I'm sure you can imagine, Master, they would never see the light of day again. The penetratingly bright sunlight particular to this area. A beast! It's a beast! You disgusting creature! You hideous monster! Kill him! If that's how you humans want to do things, then I'll play your little game. I'll play it even better than you. I'll kill you. Now we're at the start of Dracula. There we go. I'll slaughter you. No, please don't. That's it. Cry for me. Beg for your life. Pray for my mercy.
weep and struggle and suffer and die. No one understands. No one can possibly understand my despair. What did I ever do? Was it just because I'm a beast? When did I become a beast? Why do beasts have to die? Beasts are savage, and so they must die. I'm a beast, therefore I'm savage. In which case, I'll kill them. I'll show them what makes a beast so terrifying. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we're not doing more evil laughter. Moonlight crept through the torn velvet curtains, shining down upon the blood-soaked beast. It was a sight that would incite terror in anyone. Look at this. No one can stand up to me. Humans have no chance against beasts. More. I need more. Give me more prey. The mansion continued to sate the beast's demented craving, sending not one but multiple villagers into his claws. Into these blood-stained walls, off which echoed his monstrous howls. Stop! Please, I'm begging you, spare me! Oh God! Sorry, I'm not familiar with your god. Beasts have no need of God. Oh, this is absolutely self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, if he hadn't killed the first guy, then he wouldn't be killing all of these. So, and then they wouldn't want to kill him when he's trying to kill them. Like, as soon as you start trying to kill someone, it's generally reciprocal. I have a wife and a son back at the village. Please let me return to them. Why don't you bring them back to me? I'll send them to the same place you're going. I'm with child. Please let me go. Are you now? In that case, I'll kill the baby first. You damned monster. That's right, I'm a monster. And by killing, no one can defy me. I have to show the world that beasts are the most frightening things on this earth. The beast began to change his style, making sick banquets out of his kills. Some days he would tie his guests up in the cellar, playing with them for hours until they finally died. Some days he would drain them of their blood and bathe in it. Some days he would spread them out on the table and feast upon them. Every week, another atrocious party. He did everything imaginable. As a faithful servant of this house, I am confident I can do most anything I am asked. Though you can surely imagine my surprise at having to use the cooking skills I learned while serving the flaxen-haired family to do that. I can only wonder if it actually tasted any good. Bestia's peculiar sword was always with him for his twisted banquets of self-gratification. However much blood stained it, it never lost its sheen. It was as though the sword drank the flesh of humans. Master, can you imagine just how wretched I felt? The mansion, once a beautiful sight to behold, reeked of death and acrimony. The stench of rotting flesh seeped up from the cellar. Even the years it spent forsaken and in ruins were preferable to that. Or perhaps I only had myself to blame. It was I who had invited the beast into the mansion. More. Not enough. This isn't enough to satisfy me. But Bestia still sought to hold more of his perverse parties. Lost villagers were no longer enough to quell his urges. He was indeed a genuine beast. And in time, this is what he began to wish for. Can't you get me any better prey? Something truly exquisite. The perfect prey to quench this maddening thirst of mine. Do you know what he meant when he asked for the perfect prey, Master? Perhaps a hero, someone courageous enough to stand up to him, with whom he could enjoy a battle to the death. Perhaps a dazzling young nymph to satisfy his other primal urges. Or perhaps what he wanted was not human at all, but a demon or a phantom. I would soon find out, as the mansion attempted to grant his wish, bringing yet another guest to the house on the cliff. I know, she put so much work into tying this whole place up, and now he's ruining it. Like, poor girl is trying so hard.
If the devil guides us, if God guides us, then perhaps I could accept that this was fate. Then it makes sense that I am here. Is anyone is anyone there? I've lost my way. Would you please be so kind as to spare me a little food?
Ah, there. There it is. There comes the poor little offering. They never learn. They just keep coming again and again. The mansion keeps granting my wish. I would be glad to provide you some food. And you are welcome to stay the night. Get some rest. I will have a room prepared. Oh! Oh! What?
Then I suppose I shall take you up on your generosity. I have been wandering for a very, very long time. What was that, Master?
You recognize her? I imagine you would. That white hair, those red eyes, skin the color of freshly fallen snow. And that flawlessly beautiful visage. You could not possibly mistake her for anyone else. And no, it is not someone who happens to resemble her. I can understand why you would be surprised, Master. At first, I could hardly believe my own eyes. The wanderer knocking on the door that day was the very same fair-skinned young woman who visited the mansion so many years earlier. The white-haired girl must have spent many, many a night in the forest. Her crystalline skin was covered in red scratches from where she had brushed against stray branches and tree bark. She had even lost her shoes and was standing there barefooted, looking quite disheartened. But that did not make her any less beautiful. In fact, you could just imagine the dense forest canopy parting to allow the sun to shine down upon her. The beast appeared surprised by her angelic beauty as well. It seemed as though all the madness drained from him in that moment. He said nothing, but his eyes told all. He was entranced by the sight of her ruby red irises and her pure white hair. Pardon? I am a beast. This is what I asked for. Something to quench my thirst. You're allowed to be happy.
But as I said, it was only for a moment.
So rejoice. Imagine just how gratifying it will be to see such a beautiful woman writhing in the throes of death. Follow me. I will have a bath drawn as well.
And once the moment had passed, the beast was barely able to contain the wellspring of madness within himself. He wanted nothing more than to run his sword through the white-haired girl at that very instant, to torture her, to defile her. He tended to her wounds, served her supper, and drew a bath for her. And afterwards, the beast even made to provide her with a dress to wear. Even the outfit she had only worn for one night so many years before was there, waiting for someone to put it on again. For her to put it on again. He said she could choose anything she liked. She, being such a modest young woman, said she needed not of such fine attire. And what a shame that was. I too wished to see her in a dress once more. I need not such fine clothing.
You needn't be modest.
No, that's not why.
Are they not to your liking, then?
No, my apologies. You are very generous.
Foolish girl, smiling and calling me generous. I was simply imagining what a pretty sight it would be. The sight of her fresh blood splattered on it. The sight of her life slipping away in it.
I am glad that after wandering for so long, I ended up here in this mansion.
And in a few hours, you'll be feeling the exact opposite. Get all the rest you need. I shall see you again in the morning.
I thank you.
Bestia then made his way out of the girl's bedchamber. His mask came crumbling off only after taking a few steps. There! That's precisely what I wanted. Just imagining how a beautiful woman will scream. How she'll beg for her life. Hey, Hey, are you there? The mansion has given me the perfect offering. Hey, hey! Is she not here?
Is someone there? Yes, I came by to ask if there was anything you needed. I cannot offer you anything extravagant, not like before, but I am here to provide you with anything in my capacity. I appreciate the offer, but I need nothing. Being allowed to stay the night is more than enough. Do you work here in the mansion? Yes, indeed I do. I have been here for a very, very long time. A very long time. Um, you might think this an odd question, but have we met before? Something about you seems familiar. And I get the feeling that I have been in this mansion before. Yes, we have met. It was quite some time ago, though. When was it? It was an unimaginably long time ago. Do you remember a boy and girl with flaxen hair? Flaxen hair. I apologize. My memory fails me. Do you not remember me either? I see. You should probably not push yourself to remember then. There were joyous times, and there were less than joyous times. But would you be so kind as to answer one question? What might your name be? My name. My name is... I see. So you are... Again. Again? You should get some rest. I will make tea for you in the morning. Also, go on. Close your eyes. But Bastien never waited for morning to come. With his sword that smelled of blood hanging from his hip, the beast slowly, ever so slowly, crept towards the room where the white-haired girl slept. The time was soon approaching for the bloodthirsty beast to paint the walls with the young woman's blood, to turn her bedchamber into a gore-splattered altar upon which he would offer her to the devil. However, when he opened the door, the beast could hardly believe his eyes. She was not asleep, but sitting there as if expecting Bestia's arrival.
Why are you awake? Did you not go to sleep?
I heard footsteps, so I...
And what were you planning to do when I got here? Surely you didn't think we'd simply have a nice midnight chat.
I was hoping to ask what it was that you wanted.
To ask what it was I wanted? Do you even realize what you're saying? Can you not see what's in my hand? You know exactly what I came here to do. Aren't you going to beg? Aren't you going to plead for your life? Aren't you going to ask me not to kill you?
If it's necessary. But is that what you want?
What I want is something much, much more gratifying than your pleas. I want to hold a banquet. It's not enough. No matter what I do, it's not enough. But you will be enough to satisfy me, to quench this unholy thirst, to completely, wholly fill me to the bursting point. You want to know what I desire? I desire to devour you. Bestia shoved the girl back, slamming her into the mattress. He then stabbed his sword through the sheets beside her, looking down upon the girl, the moonlight at his back. Clenching her slender throat with one hand, he drew his sword once more, holding the tip but inches from her nose. All of a sudden, I can't read. I apologize. No matter how much blood it drank, the sword continued to shine gloriously, as though it had just come from the forge. It was an awe-inspiring, tear-shedding blade, the sight of which would cause anyone to imagine the misfortune about to befall them. Go on, mock me. Ridicule the hideous, barbaric beast standing before you. From the moment you saw me, you thought me unsettling, no? But you averted your eyes because I had food for you. Because I gave you a place to rest. You pretended not to notice the beast. This is retribution. Retribution for you damned humans. So beg for your life like they all do. Cry, plead for mercy.
If you say, if you are say that you are ugly, then I must be equally ugly.
What? What came from the girl's mouth was neither a plea, nor an insult, nor a scream. Full grown men had wept before him, and yet this slight young woman did not. Despite this terrifying beast being upon her, moments away from extinguishing her life. Even I almost shrieked in fright. Bestia could believe neither his eyes nor his ears. Do you not fear me? Can you not see what I'm about to do to you?
What am I to be afraid of?
I'm threatening to murder you. To rip your intestines out with these claws and watch you die in agony. I enjoy it more than anything in the world. Filling others' hearts with fear. The more lives I take, the more I enjoy it. I'm a beast, driven by madness. What he expected was for the beautiful girl before him to desperately implore him for mercy. He wanted nothing more than to see despair seep into every corner of her red eyes. For he believed that it would be a truly sublime moment, euphoria unlike anything he had experienced before. Bestia prodded her with his singular sword, poking a slit in skin smoother than silk.
You see me as pitiful, and so you are offering me release from my fate.
But she did not do as the beast wished. She looked up at him with sympathy rather than fear. This rattled the beast. He had never once seen anyone respond to him that way. What on earth are you talking about? What is going through your head? Pity? Release? Do you not comprehend this situation? I find this really interesting because it's almost like a reversal of the situation that happened with Mel, right? Where she was trying to kill him and he was basically offering her mercy, or like refusing to cast judgment on her. Like, she's literally doing the same thing. How can you be so calm? Scream, cry, and shout. Beg for me to spare you. Throw yourself at my feet. Throw yourself at my feet. Yeah, this is supposed to be fun, and you're ruining it. Otherwise, I'm a beast. A beast that never tires of killing. To me, you,
To me, you appear to be a person.
you're lying.
You listen to the things I say, and you respond with your own words.
Uh, I was taught how to speak. I, I, I'm a beast who speaks human language.
But you think. You use your mind to come up with responses. And you hesitate.
If I, if I, if I, if I'm human, then why do they disparage me so? Yeah, fuck you.
Fuck me yourself, coward.
Why did they reject me and try to kill me? Because you're trying to kill them, my dude. This should not be rocket science. Because I'm a beast. A repulsive beast. That's why, isn't it?
I. I will do nothing to hurt you. We are alike.
Alike? Don't be ridiculous. How can you say we're alike when you're as beautiful as you are?
There is nothing beautiful about me. What value does outward appearance have?
Y- you.
You have suffered much persecution, which is why you tremble in fear.
I am not trembling. I am not afraid.
I can hear the cries of your heart.
What on earth is wrong with you? Why are you not afraid? Why do you not scream in terror?
I am afraid, but more than fear. I feel like I know now what my role is.
Your role?
If you will have me, then I would like to remain here in the mansion.
Are you mad? I will eventually kill you, torture you, put you through hell, make you wish you were never born.
That does not change my mind. Please allow me to stay. I find it very hard to believe that what you want deep down is to hurt people. And I get the feeling that I am meant to be here, that it is my role.
Y-
Bestia was at a loss. He was perhaps afraid of this girl who did not fear him, and even attempted to embrace him. She behaved too differently from all the other humans he knew of, who only ever harassed and pushed him away.
Why are you so kind to me? To this beast? This murderer?
Bestia's sword slipped from his hand, hitting the hard floor with a metallic whine. When the sound died down, the white-haired girl extended her hands for the beast with the utmost of affability. Her fingers were white as freshly fallen snow, something this area never saw. They traced his distinctive frame. They ran along his unusually shaped nose. They slid across his rough yellowed skin. They drifted around his rather small eyes. The beast trembled once more, this time not out of twisted desire from deep within, but from the unimaginable comfort of physical contact. Her fingers moved so gently, so pleasantly, wrapping him in their warmth. Are you crying? A single teardrop slid down the arc of her finger. Looking into her clear eyes, Bestia came to a realization, and at the same time he felt somewhat dismayed. You are without sight. Taken in the throes of his primal urges, the beast had not noticed, but there was an emptiness in the girl's eyes. She appeared to be gazing far into the distance, not focused on the man despite being close enough to touch him. Tears had begun running down Bestia's cheeks earlier, when she had called him a person. But it was not until one of those droplets had slid across the back of her finger that she had realized. She would, indeed, have no need of extravagant dresses. After all, she could not see what she was wearing. That is correct. I am blind. But whoever decided that reality is only that which can be seen? I know not what appearance I have. In the darkness, everything is as one. There is no difference between beast and man. If you are a beast, then I too must be a beast. To call the girl a beast would be paramount to eating sugar and insisting it was salt. Do pardon the trite analogy, please. But you know rather well, master, that the white-haired girl was not at all what you would call a beast. Not simply in appearance, but all the way down to her core. There was nothing beastly about her. Oops. Her words brought him faint pain, but the beast still felt, on some level, that he wanted to keep her at his side, to see what would happen. His next words were in large part impulsive. "I, I am grateful that you cannot see." Yeah. I also have no sense of taste. Is this food or a Tide Pod? Without exception, everyone who had wandered into the mansion had lost their lives before the sun rose the next morning. She was the first visitor who had not met this fate. Over time, Bestia's madness gradually subsided. He even began to seem rather tame. You would hardly believe it was the same beast who had once reveled in those perverse festivities. He was, I imagine, at a loss for how to behave. I too would be flustered in the constant presence of such beauty. But it was not just her appearance. She had said she wished to live with him, a beast who had committed countless atrocities. Perplexing indeed. What is the matter?
Do you honestly not fear me?
Do I appear to be afraid of you?
No, you do not. But you would. If you could see me, you would react the same as everyone else. You would mock me. You would despise me. You would want to kill me. You don't know what I've done because you can't see. I enjoyed it. I basked in their terror. So why? Why do I not want you to find out? I don't want you to know how many people I've tortured, how many I've slaughtered, how much blood I've imbibed. All the horrible things I've done. Horrible? I'm aware that what I've done is wrong, but I relished in it. I wanted for so long to slaughter them. I desperately desired to see blood, human blood. What is it I crave? Murder? Or laughter? I said that I had no need for peace, yet here I am.
Is something the matter?
No, some tea?
Oh, shall I make some? Are you thirsty?
No, I made some tea. It's probably cold by now. I thought you might want some. You don't.
No, no, I'll take it.
What are you laughing for?
because I'm happy.
Is it to your liking?
It's bitter. Their life together began quietly, their days without events. They had no extravagant meals. There were no swaths of guests lending life to the mansion's halls, but there was also no one screaming in fear for their life. It was the peaceful life Bestia had lost, and he had returned once more to that quiet realm.
Oh, that's cute. Reminds you of that one version of Cinderella where the prince is invisible instead of a glass slipper. He marries the girl who can see him. That's adorable.
What's the matter?
You were always so quick to notice my presence.
My world is one of darkness, so I have a heightened sense of hearing.
What is it like? How do you perceive the world? I cannot imagine living in complete darkness.
Occasionally I can see light.
Light?
Yes, not a radiant light like the sun, but a soft light floating in the darkness. Like a candlelight, I suppose.
That only perplexes me all the more. I find it difficult to understand what you were describing.
Is that so? It's difficult for me as well. I'm not sure how to explain it, but it's not complete darkness. I can sense your presence, for instance, and I can tell how windy it is from the way the windows vibrate. And also,
Also,
I also feel as though I can sense the wavering of emotions. The candlelight begins to flicker erratically, from fear, intense sorrow, or other similar emotions.
my emotions?
I don't know. It could be yours and it could be mine. This mansion is a very peculiar place. The candlelight is always wavering, and yet it seems somehow stable. It makes me feel as though this is where I belong.
I don't think I understand. I am a beast, and so I lack the intelligence.
But you,
I am going to go hunting. Is there anything you would like?
whatever you like. All right then, if you find any fruit, that would be nice.
Fruit.
It's sour. You picked it before it was ripe.
Uh, I didn't know. Is that a bad thing? I don't know anything.
I cannot see, but if fruit is still green, you're not supposed to eat it yet. What color are these?
No, blue.
Shall I give you a hand preparing supper?
I cannot ask of help for someone who can't see. You'll hurt yourself.
Don't worry, I can tell for the most part where things are by touch and sound. Are you worried?
Worried? Worried. Wor- worried. The thought of blood dripping down her finger doesn't excite me. What's going on? What on earth has happened to me?
If I appear to be in any danger of harming myself, please let me know. Then you have nothing to worry about. You do not seem any more comfortable in a kitchen than me.
She always cooks that. Where did she go?
Huh?
She always comes when I call.
I had hidden myself away. Bestia had learned to go about his daily life without my assistance, and the two of them had no need for others in their peaceful world. Oh my, what's the matter, master? I was not lonely at all now. It was an absolute pleasure simply watching them. I mean that. It was not my role to be at his side, nor was I the one to be at hers. If she could make Bestia into the master of the house, then my presence was unnecessary. I appear when I'm needed, as I appeared to serve the flaxen-haired family. Nothing more. If they sought a servant, then I would show myself. Yes, certainly. After some time, they began to sleep in the same bed.
Oh dear, no, not for the reason you're imagining, master. They're not fucking. Um, you thought no such thing?
Though they slept in the same bed, they did not lay together. They did so, it seemed, because they were more comfortable in the same place. The two acted more like family than lovers.
Hey, hello? Are you asleep?
No, I'm awake.
Is the candlelight wavering?
Right now, it's very calm.
I see. Say, tell me about your childhood.
What? Me?
Weren't you?
My childhood?
Yes. I have no such stories to tell. When I was a child, I lost everything. My mother, father, brothers, everyone. So
For as long as I can remember, I did not have a father. I lived alone with my mother, but I never felt like that was a bad thing.
was she kind?
Yes, very. She was a compassionate woman, but we were poor, and because I cannot see, my mother was the only one who could work. She would be away for long stretches of time, supposedly because she served at a respectable house. I do not know whether that was true. Perhaps she was doing much more demanding work. I never asked. I believed not asking was best for her. From time to time, I would receive letters from her. Someone who lived nearby read them to me. The letters went something like this: Life in the mansion is difficult, but everyone treats me so well, and they say I do good work. I'll be back with more money soon, so you be a good girl. Other than that, she allegedly expressed concern for my health and safety, as well as repeatedly saying how much she loved me.
You have a good mother.
I did. Nearly everything I remember my mother saying to me was written in her letters. So, so much kindness and warmth.
Why do you not live with her now? How did you end up here in the mansion?
Before long, she lost her life at her place of employment, and I was sent the money she had earned. It was, I imagine, enough to survive on. When my mother was alive, she often lamented my blindness. If only you could see, she would say, I could show you just how extraordinary this world is. So I decided I would visit a renowned physician in order to fulfill my mother's dream. A physician in this country. However, upon examining me, he said that he could not restore my sight. Dejected, I was on my way back home when bandits attacked. They robbed me of the money I bought to pay for my treatment. I lost everything my mother saved for me, the money she gave her life to earn for me. I failed to repay her for anything she did, which cast a dark cloud over my heart. My world has always been wrapped in darkness, but at that moment I was in the deepest abyss. There was not even a speck of light. I was at a complete loss. With nowhere to go, I simply wandered, no destination in mind. And that was when I miraculously arrived at this mansion. It was as if it had summoned me here.
You were being summoned by the mansion to fulfill my craving. But it didn't end up that way. I wonder if the mansion is disappointed. I see.
I apologize for not having a brighter tale to tell. I imagine you were hoping to hear joyful childhood memories.
No. Did they hurt you?
Pardon?
The bandits. When they attacked, were you hurt?
You are so compassionate.
I am no such thing. I am not compassionate.
I was perfectly fine. I took a few scratches, but nothing you need to worry about.
I see.
I believe
Hmm?
that I am happy now. I was unable to regain my sight, and I haven't the money to return home. But I believe I left in order to come here. Is your life right now happy?
I am terrified. I'm volatile. I'm growing accustomed to this woman's comfort. I'm afraid of losing her. A beast should not have these feelings. A murderous beast. Take this.
What is...
It makes a good gift, supposedly. I was planning to throw it out when I learned that, but I couldn't. I felt like I was meant to give it to someone. That could only be you. It is a fake white rose.
a white rose accessory?
Do you not want it?
No, no, I do. I just... For some reason... Never mind. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, I think we're gonna end here for tonight. We'll end on a happy memory. Oh, not what I wanted. So next stream, again, we might do a New Year's Eve stream. I've already talked to Lemur about possibly doing that. So stay tuned. I'll announce on Twitter when we're back. But until then, I hope everyone has a happy holiday and whatever you celebrate. And I don't think I have any announcements other than that. So let me know if there's anything that in the new year you're hoping that we bring back, do more of, are interested in us doing at all, because open to talking to the team about it. Other than that, that's all I got. Thanks for hanging out tonight, all, and see you when we're back. Good night.